Good morning, children. In the last class, we discussed about agriculture in India. So, up to the seasons, cropping seasons, depending upon the climatical conditions, we discussed. Now we are discussing about the cropping seasons designed based on the consumption. That means what type of in what way, that means the rearing crops that we are using. In what manner, that means for eating purpose or for business purpose. So based on that consumption, that means the Indian crop seasons are divided into food crops and non-food crops. Food crops and the non-food crops. So based on consumption, this is the that means category classification based on consumption. That means the crops are divided into food crops and non-food crops. So what do you mean the food crops? What are the food crops? Simply we write paddy, wheat, jowar, bajra and other millets and green gram and all types of grams. Green gram, black gram, Bengal gram and the red gram. These all. So these are usually comes under, of course, vegetables and fruits. Nowadays most important, vegetables and fruits. These all comes under food crops. Some kinds of crops belongs to both category, both food crops and non-food crops. For example, those are oil seeds. So oil seeds we require edible oils, no? We are getting oils, and some kinds of oils will be useful for some other industrial purposes. So to clean up the machinery like that. Some kinds of oils will be take out from the oil seeds. So however, oil is mostly comes under non-food crop. Next, sugar cane, tobacco, tea, coffee, rubber, tea, coffee, rubber, cotton, jute and natural silk. So these all comes under non-food crops. These all comes under non-food crops. Non-food crops. So these are comes under food crops. So now we discuss about what are the different crops that we are rearing and what are the different climate conditions that we required to raise the different types of crops. First of all, we discuss about food crops. So food crops in the sense, so we discussed about that. First of all, paddy, what we call it as mostly paddy, we call in another word it is rice. Paddy or rice. Paddy means we use it to eat in our regular diet. That's what we call in local language annam. That means very annam, biyam. So these are the two people local terms also we require. So paddy or rice. See, this paddy is the crop which we rear in the Kharif season. Of course, nowadays, first of all, this was only reared in Kharif season, but nowadays we are having yearly 1, 2, 3 crops. Okay, so more than 2 crops also we are rearing, so that we can't say this is only Kharif. It will be reared in Rabi season, and maybe in Kharif season 2 crops, and Rabi season 2 crops also somewhere it is going on. So that, however, finally, that means mainly it will be called as Kharif crop. It is a Kharif crop. So in Kharif crop season we rear this paddy crop, children. Okay, here we required that means 25 degrees centigrade temperature, that high temperature is required, high temperature and so more rainfall. More rainfall means nearly above 100 centimeters of rainfall is required. 25 degrees centigrade temperature and above 100 centimeters rainfall also we require children. So this is the regular that we are using, that means so that we require more than 2 crops. Why? Because of the increased population it is not possible. So that means to rear only 1 crop. So that means we require more production increase for the increased population, so we are having nearly 2 or more than 2 crops in different parts. So next to China, so we are having so second place in growing this paddy crop. So next to China, India is the second place. India is the second largest producer, of paddy next to China. So China is the first place. So China have first place and our India is in second place in producing paddy crop. Okay, children. See, mostly this will be growing in all kinds of the delta regions wherever we found good alluvium soil. So mostly this will be growing alluvium soils wherever we found alluvial soils. What is mean by alluvium is the sediments brought by the rivers in their direction finally they deposit at the mouth of the river, wherever the river is ending point, that is going to the join to the sea. So at that place, because of deposition of more sediments for a long period, so that means the soil still becomes humus. The humus consisted soils known as alluvial soils. These alluvium brought by the rivers. So that mostly these are well at the deltaic areas and what we call at coastal regions. And all important river plains. At this place, these kind of alluvial soils are available. So we are wearing paddy crop will be grows effectively at these places. So that where we found these kind of places where we found. See, we found. So that means mostly these are Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. So these are the important states. Of course, Telangana. So wherever that alluvium was available, some other areas wherever that means water facilities or irrigation facilities are not so favorable. In some countries, some states like Punjab and other areas, we are following this paddy crop through canal irrigation. Canal irrigation or the irrigation from the groundwater by using tube wells. This is about paddy crop, children. Next crop, that what we discussed about that. So wheat crop. See, we will identify this paddy crop by using this symbol, children. So where we had, so we told that it is Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, in Maharashtra and in West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, of course in Odisha. Okay, children. So in these places we are having a paddy crop. So paddy crop identification we use this symbol. Right, children. Next. Can you know the places? UP, this is Uttar Pradesh, and this is West Bengal, this is Odisha. But it is not possible to write all. Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, of course Telangana. So these all places we are hearing the paddy crop. Next to the important crop in our country. So in this cropping seasons was rabi crop, wheat crop, which we rear in the Rabi season. Second important crop in our country was wheat. It is a Rabi crop. See, we are in this wheat crop in the Rabi season. This is the second most important cereal crop. This is the second important cereal crop. What do you mean by cereal means what we eat. Major diet comes under cereal. So paddy is a major cereal one, and the second important cereal crop is wheat. Of course, based on the available climatic conditions. So that means South Indians usually take the paddy as their regular diet, and wheat is the regular diet for the North Indians based on their available climatic conditions. Okay, children. So it requires that means bright sunshine at the time of ripening. It requires so good sunshine. That means good sunshine is enough, not more temperature is necessary. And so above 25 centimeters of rainfall, about 25 centimeters of 50 to 75 centimeters. 50 to 75 centimeters of rainfall also we require for this wheat crop. Next, in which areas these are growing? Which type of soils are favorable for the wheat crop? Means so black soil. Black soils are most favorable for this crop. So where we are getting? We are getting that Ganga Satluj region. Ganga Satluj region. The Ganga Satluj region is the most first of all important priority for the wheat crop, and following that means wherever that black soils are available, so that means wherever that black soils are available in this Deccan Plateau region. That means so black soils, Deccan Plateau region with black soils. Wherever we found the black soils in the Deccan Plateau, and that region also most useful. Along with that, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and Odisha. So these are important areas: Rajasthan, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh. Also there, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana. Also other important states. Okay, children. So for identification of wheat, we are taking this symbol, but so that Ganga Satluj region means so wherever the Ganga river is flowing in this direction, and wherever the Satluj river flowing in this region. So that means from Himachal Pradesh to Punjab. At these two regions, we found that majorly the wheat crop, and following that Madhya Pradesh is there, and Haryana between so Punjab, in Punjab and Haryana and Madhya Pradesh and UP, and also in Bihar. Bihar also it is there, and what else? Next, West Bengal also there, and wherever black water soils are available in some particular areas, so there also we are wearing this wheat crop. This is about wheat crop. Next, the third important crop is that is maize crop. That is maize crop. So this crop is used as food and fodder. This maize crop, third important crop, that is food crop, is maize. Maize crop is used as both food and fodder. Food and fodder. So this mostly rare in the alluvial soil regions. Alluvial soils. Wherever we found alluvial soil, there we rear this crop. Okay, children. So next, what type of temperature that we require? So we require 21 to 27 degrees centigrade temperature we require, and we require so up to 100 centimeters of rainfall is sufficient. Okay, children. So that means up to 75 means up to 100 means 75 to 100. 75 to 100 centimeters of rain is necessary. Rainfall necessary for the rearing this crop. And millets, pulses, sugarcane, oil seeds or the other crops we are rearing in a different seasons, children. Next we discuss about, that means we discussed food crops. Now we are discussing about non-food crops. Before going to discuss non-food crops, we came to know that horticulture crops. What do you mean by horticulture crops? Horticulture crops means simply we say that fruits. Fruits in our country at different places we are rearing. So mostly these are reared in both tropical and temperate regions. Tropical and temperate or tropical and temperate regions of our country, here we are rearing fruits. So these fruits are fairly different from different places. For example, Nagpur of Maharashtra is very famous of oranges. Nagpur of Maharashtra is very famous of oranges. In the same way, what we call apples, say apricots, peach. So these are mostly found at Jammu Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. And pineapple are famous for pineapple from Meghalaya and bananas from Kerala, Mizoram, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. So these are the other important areas. So simply we say the major important thing is that our India is providing out of total world fruits production, 1/6 of fruits coming from our country only. 1/6 of fruit production of the world coming from our country only. These are about horticulture crops. Okay, children. Next, now we are discussing about non-food crops. Non-food crops is merely crops which we required for commercial purpose, means business purpose. So those are cotton, jute, silk, means. So these are mostly comes under fiber crops first. These are comes under fiber crops. So cotton we use to wear the clothes. We require clothes to prepare a shirt, pant, trousers, whatever we require. Cotton is a raw material. First for sarees or everything. Okay, so mainly the cotton industries are situated, that means wherever the cotton crops are favorable. So for example, the areas Gujarat, Telangana, here I will write Gujarat, Telangana, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, some areas, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. These areas, all these areas, that means cotton crops are very famous. Okay, children. So this cotton, India having a leading that means number in the production of cotton crops or cotton sarees. Then our Indian members have great that means patent rights or the great glory about preparation of a saree which can be inserted in a matchbox. That kind of the great saree was woven by our Indian weaver. That is our greatness. And this crop mostly grow in deltoid regions. Deltoid regions are black cotton soils regions. Mostly this is a cotton crop mostly grows in black cotton soils. Wherever we found black cotton soils. At this region, that means this cotton crop will be rare. Next, so we require, what type of conditions we require? High temperatures and 210 frost-free days are necessary at the time of ripening. 210 frost-free days. That means it may not be fall of frost. Frost is nice, 210 required for the good ripening of cotton balls. Okay, children. And high temperature we require, and we require very light rainfall. That means the water should be provided by the irrigation facilities only. That will be better. Next important crop is jute. Jute is known as golden fiber. Jute is known as golden fiber. Okay, children. So this jute mostly available at the hinterland of the Hooghly region. Hooghly. Where is the Hooghly river? It is the tributary of Ganga river. This is there with West Bengal and Bangladesh. Of course, Bangladesh is not our country. So West Bengal is the major producer of the jute crop. Children. Next, but jute crop, jute gunny bags are using for packing or storing the grains and everything. But the production cost will be more for the jute bags, so that it was replaced by the synthetic fiber. Synthetic fibers nowadays, because of synthetic fiber, we are facing the environmental problems. Usage of jute bags only is better for the protection of environment. Okay, children. Next important crop it is rubber. Rubber is an equatorial crop. Rubber we call it as equatorial crop. It is equatorial crop, and so this will be grown both tropical and subtropical regions. It will grow in both tropical and subtropical regions. Okay, children. So mostly the rubber where in Kerala is very famous for rubber production. Kerala is the largest producer of rubber. So following that Kerala, so then other important states were the Andaman Nicobar Islands, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and so on. Andaman Nicobar Islands, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, etc. also famous for rubber crop. Children. Next. The next important crops were sugar cane. Sugar cane is also a important tropical crop, both tropical and subtropical crop it is. Tropical and subtropical crop. Subtropical crop it is. Okay, children. See, this will be mostly rare in the states of Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Karnataka, in a few continents in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. These are familiar for sugarcane production. That means out of the sugarcane loss, this will be useful and that means profitable when we shift the production soon after the harvest. Why? Because if we store it for a long time means there will be the sucrose. So whatever consisted in by the sugar loss will be dry up. So that we should shift the production or the produce immediately soon after the harvest. That is the major important. That means so soon after the harvest we should be shift to the factories, sugar factories for the preparation of sugar. So out of the sugar cane juice we are getting sugar and specifically required and khandasari and jaggery are the other important things. And out of that, obtaining that these all products, whatever, so that ash came out of the production that will be used as molasses. This molasses is useful one side for the crops and other side it is a most useful fuel will be prepared for the preparation of that means for flying of planes, aeroplanes. Okay. This is about so non-food crops. Okay, now we are discussing about of course different types of crops and they are available at different types of places of India we discuss. First of all, soon after getting independence, our Indian leaders or Indian government planned for the to give the importance to the agriculture. That means food production first of all. Why? Because before independence, our India was witnessed for that means so many starvation and famines. That means great famine, Ganjam famine happened between 1923 and 24. Okay, children. So that means our Indian government, or newly independent Indian government, first given a priority to agriculture. So in their planning. So first 5-year plan. The first 5-year plan. So they given in the first 5-year plan. So our Indian government given priority to the agriculture. So 1951 to 56. So first of all we given to the priority to the agriculture. The first 5-year plan we given the importance to the agriculture. That means simply we say that agriculture means that means increase of food production. We should fulfill the desires of the people first. Later business purpose. Okay, to improve the food production. So for this we taken the great achievement that is called Green Revolution, suggested by M.S. Swaminathan. M.S. Swaminathan. M.S. Swaminathan. M.S. Swaminathan is the founder of this Green Revolution. So this Green Revolution had taken a takeover in our country into 3 phases. In the first phase, we gave the priority to the irrigational projects. That means we should construct the irrigational projects to supply the water to the fields. So we constructed different dams across different rivers. For example, Bakranangal Dam. Bakranangal Dam across the river Satluj. In the same way, Nagarjuna Sagar Dam across river Krishna. Across the river Krishna, and Damodar Valley project across the river Damodar, which is a tributary of Ganga. Across the river Damodar, and Hirakud project. And Hirakud project across river Mahanadi. And Nizam Sagar project across river Manjira. In this way, different projects, Tehri Dam, Gandak project, many projects are there along with this all. So finally, that means our main ultimate goal is to provide the water to the fields first. So that between 1960, 50 to 65, so these all dams were connected. All major and minor dams were constructed to produce the water to the field. So this is the first phase of the Green Revolution. Why? Because of the lack of water only, crops were not ripening properly. So that these are taken. And in the second phase, so we given more priority to educate our, so that means Indian farmers, and we should select good number of soils, and so good amount of fertilizers, and that means by using good fertilizers, pesticides, and so useful soil. We should concentrate on soils. How about the soils? How to improve the fertility in soils? These are on these aspects we gave importance in the second phase of Green Revolution. Okay, children. And the third phase mostly we gave priority to the necessity of the production. What type of the crops we have to select, that we gave importance. Okay, children. So, and at the same time we gave the importance to the protection of environment also. That means what type of the food production we should raise. In the third phase we gave selection of crops. Simply we say selection of crops. And we won't allow other countries to take over food crops. Okay, we stopped our imports to reduce imports. By reducing import, we should provide good number of food production to the people, children. So these all are taken up. So these are about the green revolution. So by providing water to the fields, we improve the production, and by selecting soils and modifying fertilizers, pesticides, and agricultural tools, we improve the production. And in the third way, we selected different crops what are necessary for our country, and we reduce the imports to other countries. From other countries. That means we should cut short the imports from other countries. We won't allow to bring the products to other countries. We should improve. We should cultivate. We should cultivate by our own. That is in this way, these all ideas, the green was successfully implemented, but it given some good results and some bad results. What are the good results? Good result means food production was improved, so more people fulfilled their food desires, and there were no famines, of course, and good seeds, that means high yielding varieties. By using high yielding HYV seeds, high yielding variety seeds, that will improve our production definitely. But the bad results were environment was spoiled because of the uses of more pesticides and fertilizers, means both the soil, air, water, everything was spoiled. So that we should cut short, we should educate the farmers, so that because of the lack of knowledge, lack of education, so and innocence, that means farmers, their intention is to get more production, so that they in an unknown manner, without their knowledge, they used improper ratios of these all pesticides and fertilizers, which damaged both soil fertility and polluted the water and polluted the air. So these are the bad results to the environment. So good results improve the production. This is about green revolution journey. So this is about agriculture in India. So we should know that what is the necessity of the food production. What is the necessity of food production, and what type of crops we have to raise, in what manner. These are most important. Okay, children. So that we should go through the textbook once, through that we came to that means get good support from the textbook. By reading the textbook, we could get good knowledge, so that we could prepare some running notes. Okay, prepare some running notes by reading the textbook. Okay.